Today on our 2015 GMC Terrain, we'll be installing the Roadmaster Easy Base Plate Kit with removable arms, part number 523163-1. Now this is what your Roadmaster base plate will look like installed on your GMC Terrain. Has the quick disconnect arms here, easy access to your safety chain cables so you can hook it up to your RV. Nice clean look here, and it doesn't require any trimming. Pretty easy installation, you just got to take the fascia off, remove the bumper core, and bolt your new base plate into place. When you're not using it, really gives your vehicle a nice clean look, not having a big bulky base plate sticking out, and you can't remove your safety cables, or you can just tuck them here behind your fascia and zip tie them. To start our install, we need to remove the fascia. To do that, we'll first raise the hood. There are 8 fasteners that we need to remove here on the top side of our fascia. There will be 4 push fasteners and then 4 Torx bits fasteners. We'll go ahead and remove those now. Start with the push fasteners. Just take a small flat blade screwdriver, get underneath the edge of it to release it, and you can pull it out. Now that we have the push fasteners removed, we can go ahead and move on to the Torx bit fasteners. There's 4 here across the front of the fascia. Now we need to move to the wheel well on each side. There's 4 fasteners, again 2 Torx bits and 2 push fasteners. We'll remove those now. And now once we have those 4 removed, we'll go over to the passenger side and repeat the same process. Now we'll move underneath the vehicle, and we need to remove 2 6mm bolts here on each side. Now we need to remove the fog lamp wiring, and if you can't get your hand up in there to unplug it, that'll be easy, or you can twist the light out, unplug the wiring, and then put the light back into place. That's what I'm going to do. And to remove the wiring, I'm just going to take a small flat blade screwdriver, spread the connector open on each side, and that'll release it. And now we can put the light bulb back in place, just to keep it safe. So now we can actually take the fascia off the vehicle, now that we have all our fasteners removed. You just want to take it and pull forward, and we'll release it here around the headlights and the fender. You want to get an extra set of hands, just make it a little easier. Here on the bumper structure, there are 5 plastic fasteners that hold the wiring here on the back side of it. We will be removing the bumper structure, or the bumper core right here. So we need to go ahead and remove these plastic fasteners. If you have a trim panel tool, you can go here on the back side and get it underneath there and pop them loose, or you can take a pair of needle nose pliers here and pinch them on this side and then push them through. Next, we need to remove the bumper core. This will get replaced with our base plate. Here on each side, depending on your vehicle, there's a couple different variations. You'll either have 3, as in this case, or you'll have 4 fasteners. The actual one will be right here. This one has 3, so we'll use the 13mm socket to remove those on each side. We're just gonna leave this one hand tight. That way it supports this side as we take the hardware off the other side. Now with an extra set of hands, we can go ahead and set the bumper structure aside. Now a quick tech tip. Before you remove your bumper structure, on some models there is a power steering cooler attached to on the bottom side. You'll just want to go ahead and remove the 2 10mm screws attaching the power steering cooler to that. That'll drop it down so you can remove your bumper structure. There's a couple of push fasteners that are holding our wiring here into place. Let's go ahead and remove those right now. If you have a trim panel tool, just get underneath those, pop them free. Now we will be reusing the 6 bolts we just removed that hold the bumper core in place. The next step is to take your base plate, put it up into place, and reinstall these bolts. But first you want to go ahead and add some red Loctite to them. The Loctite we'll be using is the Loctite Thread Locker 262, part number LT37420. So we'll get an extra set of hands to take our base plate structure and set it into place. Just lift the wiring out of the way. And we can reinstall our bolts. And now that we have them tightened down, we can go ahead and torque them as specified in the instructions. Next, we need to remove one of the subframe bolts on each side. We'll do it one at a time. If you don't want to do both, you want to go ahead and make sure you have a jack stands or a jack underneath the subframe to hold it. Right here, you'll see the 18mm bolt. We'll go ahead and remove that now here on the driver's side. Now we're going to replace that bolt we just removed with the new bolt from the kit. That'll be the 14mm by 2" by 160mm bolts. And that'll go through the bracket and back into that mounting location. We're going to use some red Loctite here on that bolt. Before we install this bolt, we will take one of the split lock washers that come with the kit and feed it onto the bolt. So we'll take our bolt, feed it through our bracket, and then we'll use one of the provided pipe spacers and feed it over our bolt. Now we'll lift it up into place and thread it in. Before we move to the other side, we're going to attach our base plate to our bracket. We'll be using the 1/2" by 1¼ bolt that comes with the install kit, a split lock washer, and a nut. And again, you want to add red Loctite to this bolt. With these 3 pieces of hardware installed, we'll go ahead and tighten them down and torque them as specified in the instructions. Once that holds the subframe in place, we can go over to the passenger side and repeat the same process. Now there's one more bracket on each side we need to install, and it attaches here to the top of the base plate and through this opening here in the frame. In order to get your hand in there to tighten those down, we're gonna go ahead and remove our horn. And we'll just let our horn hang right here. And now we have access, and this will be the hole that our bracket will go through. Now we're gonna bring in our bracket, and as you can see, it has a couple cutouts. This cutout right here will go around the frame right here. So we'll take it, we'll feed it here on the other side of this AC line, and it'll sit on top of the base plate. Just hold the wiring out of the way so you can get it in place. We'll be using the 1/2" bolts that come with our install kit. So we'll install our hardware. Again, you want to put Loctite on them. And I'll drop the bolt through, line it up with the hole in our bracket, and drop it down into place. This bolt is kind of hard to get to get your hardware on, so I found it a lot easier if you take your wrench, put a piece of tape on there, and then put your nut in there. It'll hold the nut, so you don't have to get your hand up in there, and then you can thread the bolt into the hardware. With our bracket tightened and torqued, we can go ahead and reinstall our horn. Next, we need to take the wiring harness that we removed from the bumper core and zip tie it here to our new base plate. Now that our base plate's installed, we need to move back to the fascia we removed earlier. You see this foam support bumper on the inside? We're gonna go ahead and remove that. There's plastic clips here on the inside that's clipped to. And we can just set that aside. Now we can get an extra set of hands to put our fascia back into place. And then we'll go underneath and plug in our fog lamps. And now one of our last steps to our install of our base plate is install our safety chain hold downs. Use the ring that comes with it, put it through the hoops. Now when you're not using your base plate, you can remove these since they are quick links. Or if you choose to keep them on there, you can just zip tie them up out of the way. when you have your arms in place. Then we can bring in our removable arms and put those into place. Feed it into your base plate, twist it straight up till it goes into place, and it folds over and locks into place. And now with our base plate installed, we're ready to hook up to our RV and hit the road. So that'll do it for our look and install at the Roadmaster Easy Base Plate Kit with removable arms, part number 523163-1 on our 2015 GMC Terrain.